Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, featuring today another 1 vs 1 on Lorraine. Yes, indeed, not a lot of games have sort of been coming in. A lot of them, again, sort of novice class material, which is fair enough, but again, not really useful for most of the rest of the week. Fighting, though, shall be MWX Pornstar. Oh dear, not very classy now, is it? Though fighting for the 1st Infantry Division, opposing him shall be... Shut the fuck up and shoot. Oh, come on, but I do know this is actually Daunion, at least, and this other fellow, I believe, goes under the name of DutchX. For some reason, I keep thinking of DutchX. Whatever that is. But we are seeing a 4 engineer set up from Mr. Dutch. And we'll just keep him to that. That's a bit more family-friendly than the other name. From what I know, at least, unless there's something deeply perverted about DutchX. Anyways, 4 engineers start a bit sometime since we've seen that, I think. Again, this is a sort of start that's rather focused on seizing a large part of the map initially, and also then sort of getting flamethrowers and all sort of nasty things and all these engineers, thus creating, in fact, a rather excessive assault force. And meanwhile, we are seeing Daunion sort of slowly advancing the more usual, let's get some pioneers out and then quickly some Volksgrenadiers, German infantry marching out. And of course, what is Daunion fighting for? He shall be fighting for, oh, I don't know, let's just casually say the 326th Infantry Division. Fighting for the Reich, fighting to support the 352nd, covering its left flank. As the 1st Infantry Division masses for an assault. Volksgrenadiers open up on the engineers. And of course, question is, when will Daunion here sort of suspect that DutchX is, of course, going for the 4 engineer side? That, of course, is one of these sort of sneaky things. I mean, usually if you know what you're doing, you can actually sort of conceal that, hey, I'm actually going for 4 engineers, and thus gaining a rather sizable territorial advantage compared to you, mate. Of course, we are seeing a bike out. Of course, that could help, and of course, also support the Volksgrenadiers. We are seeing a nice push here on the western flank, pioneers. And of course, at this stage, I imagine that Daunion is, of course, aware that the 1st Infantry Division is going for the pretty engineer heavy start. Bike moving about. And again, the bike does have a decent machine gun mounted on it, a bit like the LMG, except it's actually more accurate at range. Plus, it can't quite nearly suppress as much. Still, alright weapon, in particular in support of Volksgrenadiers as well. The infantry engineers moving up here. Coming under fire from the Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers coming under fire. Could we be seeing several engineers moving in? No flamethrowers as of yet. Could there be, though, any mines, perhaps, instead? As he certainly had a munitions advantage already, I would say. Pioneers here coming under fire from the engineers and riflemen. And there we go, mines going down for DutchX right there at the small point right here. Bike doing a bit of harassment, a bit of patrolling. Additional Volksgrenadiers moving up. Riflemen moving straight in for the cut-off point. Very bold, very aggressive play from the American. Very excellent, in fact. Not excellent, but excellent. And there we go, going for the cut-off point. Bike, they're first moving in. Volksgrenadiers are not moving in to support Bike. Could perhaps hope to push them about a bit. Pioneers moving in. And might there be an MG42 here, which the Bike is essentially just trying to delay. 4 riflemen moving in from the south. Mines going down from Daunion as well. Riflemen moving in. Oh dear, Volksgrenadiers in the center could get surrounded. Riflemen engineers from all sides. Mine goes off though, stopping 1 rifleman squad right in its tracks, killing 2, pinning and heavily wounding the rest. Riflemen moving in from the north. Volksgrenadiers and pioneers caught out in the open. Bike and MG42 ready. Might want to consider moving in to provide assistance. Engineers getting away. Riflemen now down to, oh, not doing too well either. Quite the engagement, and probably all that saved it was, in fact, 1 single mine saved the day for the Volksgrenadiers. Otherwise, things might suddenly have looked a lot less cheerful and a lot less candy-coated. Though generally on the front lines, things tend not to get very often coated in candy unless something goes very wrong. Like a candy factory exploding. We are seeing some engineers securing the eastern flank. That's lovely. Bike getting repaired. We might be seeing a skirmish phase on the way, so a rather limited start, in fact, from the Wehrmacht. I mean, we're seeing only an MG, a Bike, and 2 Volksgrenadier squads. That's Not how you usually see it as such. Of course, he might be hoping for some grenadiers, and in that way perhaps just push things in his advantage. But of course, it also means as well that his current forces will be under quite a lot of pressure. Until that happens, they will be severely outnumbered. And that could prove to be a problem. But of course, again, with the bike, he might be able to sort of limit the amount of damage they can do. But of course, he's also mining pretty extravagantly, which again is very good. That's also going to help a bit. And there we go again, Volkskriegs and the bike moving in, forcing away the riflemen. Again, the bike is quite the support asset. I mean, supporting Volkskriegs can do damage and of course help you protect against flanks. Same with the Schwimmwagen. I prefer the Schwimmwagen because the Schwimmwagen is a bit more tougher and a bit more maneuverable. But some people do prefer the bike. And that of course is quite alright, in fact. Mines going down right there, points being seized. Might be setting up for an assault at several points. And there we go, Kriegberg's going up. 326th Infantry Division getting some tough infantry. All a bit quiet for the moment. Rifle engineers moving up in the east. Flamethrowers getting ready. Now this is rather becoming... Oh my goodness, the assault force. I mean... Note, 3 flamethrowers. That can really do a lot of damage. There they go, hitting the right flank. Marching up the center with engineers, then heading the west with rifle. Oh, MG stops that. Oh, Mines stops the engineers in the center. Again, Mines doing quite a bit of good job there for the Union. Again, Mines can turn things around for you quite nicely. Volkskriegs holding up here nicely. Rifleman though hitting from the flank. Bike desperately trying. MG and Volkskriegs. It is. Oh my goodness, absolute chaos. It's pandemonium. Well, not quite yet. Trust me, it's going to be much more chaotic later on. Machine gun squad. Not really looking good. Oh dear, he actually lost his MG squad. Although he has received grenadiers, that's definitely going to be a bit of a problem, since he's definitely now lacking some heavy automatic fire. Grenadiers, not entirely sure what to go, but turning up to the fences. Grenade, Stahlgranate, World War I weapon, in fact.
Germans are seizing territory from us.
In fact, the Germans did rely a bit on, partly on World War weapons for their infantry. I mean, the rifle they used, the grenades they were using, in fact, were also World War I sort of issue. Although, of course, there were minor improvements. They also had sort of a thing so they could actually have more fragmentation on their grenades. Essentially just an additional steel cap on it. We are seeing Riflemen holding up here, Grenadiers moving forwards, no Kampfkraft sent up. We are seeing a Panzerabwehrkanone. Grenadiers moving up. Mine goes off here, stopping the engineers right there. Mine goes up. The American commander's also mining. Bike moves in. Riflemen getting pushed away. Advancing up, going for the strategic point. Quite a bit of mining, and that's certainly nice to see. Again, captured. Rather something I'd recommend for all novice players. Again, you know, just try laying down mines. Work on it, sort of find out what works best. Can really make a huge difference. Riflemen attacking, a screening of grenadiers holding the line while the pioneers lay down. Oh dear, never mind. And we're also seeing a tank depot going up. DutchX is rather getting ready to hammer in the Krauts. Mine going off there, again stopping the rifleman advance. And we are seeing a half-track. Generally, German infantry division doesn't really have a lot of half-tracks, if any. Perhaps a few for command purposes, but again, one could suppose it might be an asset from another unit. Or perhaps something left behind which they picked up. Scavenging was not unusual. So let's say the Grenadiers of the 326th has been a bit industrious in that way. Picking up wrecked half-tracks, salvaging them, and getting them ready to go again. No point in letting things go to waste, and the Germans were quite keen on that. In fact, that was certainly one of the things that always surprised the Allies. That was how keen and sort of, well, overall industrious they were in actually sort of recovering their own vehicles. And getting them back into the fight, but half-track here not doing what? Oh my goodness! Pioneer squad went down to a mine. My goodness, DutchX has really been mining everywhere. Quite something.
The Axis are winning the battle. Get back in the fight.
And of course, note engineers actually get kills for the mines. I mean, if your engineers lay down a lot of mines as the Americans, they get the kills for the mines, meaning your engineers actually get veterans in. Over here we are seeing, oh, a vast engineer assault force toasting the Krauts. So I mean, again, if you want another incentive, at least as the Americans, to use mines, you gain veterancy for them. Panzer up for the Grenadiers, of course. DutchX having seen not a lot else from the Americans, of course, probably expecting armor. I mean, Daunion. Let's just shift. Not entirely sure what's going on with flaps, not fully functioning, I think. Half-track finally getting repaired. There we go, stabilized again. The Americans sitting up on the western flank. Again, mines. Mines. Grenadiers moving in. No veterancy though as of yet for the Union. In fact, let's... we are having a look at him. Never mind. Flamethrower engineer charging. Oh, and scorching the Grenadiers. Grenadiers need to retreat now. Rückzug. We are seeing a grenade, but that's not going to be enough. Wait, maybe it is. For now. Still lighting skirmishing. In fact, we're also seeing a rather vicious movement over here. And apparently one rifleman, probably Conrad, moved a bit too far and actually got gunned down by the MG bunker. Bike holding up. Here's the engineers rush in towards the center. We are seeing additional anti-tank guns being rushed in for the infantry division to try and hold the line. Engineers coming under fire. Grenadiers rushing in to support the half-track. Good. And these Grenadiers have not been reinforced. They could also do with a medic pack eventually, or at least some veterancy. Let's just speed this up. This is again going to be a bit of a long game. Going for the cut-off point, coming under fire, getting pushed back. And again, the half-track being supported by infantry, or the half-track more specifically supporting infantry, moving up. Good. Grenadiers moving in from the other side, forcing away DutchX riflemen. The 1st Infantry Division now suffering a bit, but we are seeing a Sherman now out. Although, of course, with several packs and a Panzerschreck, it might find itself a wee bit limited. Grenadiers rushing in, flamethrowers galore.
We are losing ground.
Heavy recon here. Victory point capture.
More mines going down. Quite interesting. Again, very aggressive mining being conducted by the American commander. No doctrine as of yet for the Wehrmacht. Kampfkraftcenter going up. Quite a few Grenadiers. A bit of Volksgrenadiers.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
It looks like we might be seeing a rather hard punch on the right side. The entire American force being sort of assembled there with flamethrowers, Shermans, riflemen, and all sorts of other goodies. And looks like we are seeing the Union reacting to this. Machine gun emplacement going down for DutchX. That's a quite aggressive tactic so far, Sherman, and he is cancelling, rather realizing that might not actually work now with the pack firing away, but otherwise could have been interesting, could rather have made it very difficult for the Union to actually counter-attack. Volksguys trying to rush into position. MP40s getting equipped. Some machine guns, but that might be a bit too late. Grenadiers catching on fire. Heavy losses, veterans 1 for the engineers. They're getting pushed away. MP40s firing away madly. Not quite getting them though. And veteranry 1 up for the German infantry. And the 2nd engineer squad rushes up with flamethrowers, going to burn out the Hun. Apparently not. But the Union's territory is getting much more, well, as you might have noticed, limited. He's holding very little, only 1 fuel point in fact, and 2 munitions point. He's not doing too well. He needs to break out. He needs to break free. Supply it up, of course. Riflemen getting reinforced, and now we are seeing them with BAR, thus further increasing the firepower and the assault capabilities of the 1st Infantry Division. plus just a lot more mines. Again, making it much harder for the German commander to actually counterattack. But there we go, flamethrower sending down the grenadiers. German providing support fire with 50 caliber and 75mm gun. Anti-tank guns firing away. Just in time, grenadiers are still taking heavy losses. Veterancy 2 up. Going to help, but not against the flamethrowers. In fact, it's actually going to make it easier for the flamethrowers to kill them. Fun fact. Though, looks like DutchX might actually... oh, he's lost one engineer squad. I think that's about it. Rifleman attacking across open ground right there. Perhaps not the best method. Right, in fact, when it's charging right into a half-track. Rifleman taking heavy losses in that. Engineers and riflemen moving in from the south. Not a lot of mines up for the Union. There we go. German attacking as the packs are getting pushed away. Volksgunners with MP40s getting assaulted. German, oh dear, could be going down, could be going down. Half-track could also be going down, in fact. Definitely looks like this German is in trouble. Engineers continuing, some getting veterans 1. Gunner killed. Sherman down, rifleman flanking. And we are seeing artillery getting called in on the packs. The Panzerabwehrkanonen are going to be subjected to 105mm howitzer barrages. Those so far not really doing a lot of damage. Bit of a shame. Looks like even the other pack might get away. Run, Heinz and Helmut. Never mind. Heinz died from the artillery shell. The other one died from a burst intestine. And we are seeing snipers now out for DutchX. He's rather varying up his approach, although I do think he might be building a bit too fast, you know, not getting the full use out of the tank depot. For example, he only got one Sherman, but already now he's building other units or other buildings. That could prove to be a bit of a problem. He might also want to consider getting a supply upgrade, but still, he's done some damage, but he's also managed to contain the Union for some time, but apparently it looks like the Wehrmacht is recovering and moving forwards once more. But this half-track again once more needs repairs again. You know, that's also why I use Pioneers, for example. That way you can easily pop them out and repair the half-track, and again if something appears, pop them right in again to man the guns. Advancing. Advancing. Grenadiers on the right flank coming under heavy fire. No attempt at the Sturm Armory, or at least the assault phase, or for that matter, the battle command. No veterans, but we are seeing a sniper, of course, now being made in response to the American sniper. Germans getting caught in the middle, getting sniped, getting burned, getting shot. Getting burned quite a bit. Engineers need to get out of there, so do these riflemen. 3 kills for the sniper, and luring the Volksgunners into the minefield. Oh, clever that. Down to 3 men. Grenadiers now trying their luck, but it might be running into the next. Oh, the next man, and the sniper could get him. He's veterancy 2, means the sniper can always hit him even if he retreats. Oh, no, the sniper was too late in shooting. That could otherwise have been brilliant. Could have meant a loss of a grenadier with a Panzerschreck. And there we go, Sniper Koenig reporting in to hunt down some Yankees. Oh dear, the sniper got caught down on the retreat. But we are now seeing an all-map howitzer being prepared for the Americans. Going to bomb the Hun. And more to... oh dear, he lost the Volksgrenadier squad. Full 1-2. That was definitely not a happy moment. No veterancy for the half-track. That could be nice. Would make it a bit harder to damage.
Let's go, Junge, fall in!
Veterancy 2 for 1 engineer squad. 11 kills. Again, mines can help, and of course a flamethrower also helps. Let there be no doubt about that. Grenadiers getting caught on their own. There we go, the roar of the howitzer. Getting 1 grenadier. Oh dear, oh dear. Volksgrenadiers coming under fire again. Looks like, oh, other pack got sorted out as well. And what is the American commander waiting for? Well, let's go have a look. See, and of course he's gone infantry, what with all that artillery. No supplied upgrades, that would definitely benefit him at this stage, since he's got quite the low manpower rate due to the upkeep. Pioneer squad went down, flamethrowers going in after the anti-tank, and again, DutchX very, very concerned with getting those anti-tank guns. It seems like we're just going for the easiest targets first. I'm not sure, but now apparently, oh dear, he's even cut off the retreat path from this force. Pack gets recruited by the Americans. Flamethrowers leading the way. Pack down. Flamethrowers charging in. False guns could be caught on fire. Lots of fire. These 5 men need to retreat. Zook. Not entirely sure if he'll make it out of there alive with that anti-tank gun.
Forces are taking casualties.
Oh, the rifleman squad went down, and the pack got blasted to bits by a Panzer Schreck.
Point out there.
And looks like the Union has turned the tide. Rangers now arriving. Howitzer hammering away, forcing away the Grenadiers.
We're losing ground out there.
And equipping the Rangers with submachine guns, the Thompson submachine gun. Germans a bit spread out. Not a lot of infantry left. No pioneers left, in fact. Mix of Grenadiers and a sniper, I think. I think he's even lost the Fultz Grenadiers. Oh wait, they're still there, moving up. And recruiting that anti-tank on a wager. Lovely that. There you go, the Rangers are equipped with a Thompson submachine gun. That's definitely going to be a problem for Hans and Helmut. Let's speed up again. Schnell, schnell.
We're losing a sector.
And there we go, engineers getting snapped as they are advancing. Of course, Veterancy does provide some nice bonuses to engineers. Overall, the bonuses to American infantry are actually quite alike, you know. They get harder to hit, they get an accuracy bonus, and at Veterancy 3, they pretty much all get a 50% damage bonus. That also applies to Rangers, of course. At Veterancy 3, the submachine guns do 50% more damage, the bazookas do 50% more damage. And again, hitting the flanks, we are seeing Veterancy 3 infantry out for the Germans, which gives them a 20% or 25% health bonus. Oh, the sniper could be cut down by the Rangers. There we go. Anti-tank gun cleared out. Absolute chaos for the Union, as Rangers and Riflemen cause havoc. Submachine gun fire everywhere. A full retreat for the 326th Infantry Division. Although some Grenadiers still hold the line. A fun consideration for the Union could be to actually go for the assault phase and perhaps get an LMG or two for some of his Grenadiers.
We're down to 200 points.
More artillery perhaps against the German base. Yes, indeed, in the hopes... Oh, nice shock wave. But in the hopes of catching some right there. Already Veterancy 1, in fact. And Veterancy 4, the howitzers, basically means there's shorter time between each barrage. So of course a Veterancy 3 howitzer can fire much faster than a no Veterancy howitzer. Grenadiers holding on though, for now, but the question of course is how long is that? Then again, the American commander is also taking his share of the beatings, although finally we are seeing a supplied upgrade. And of course we might also be seeing no grenades. That's not necessarily a bad upgrade either. What might have been nice actually early on would have been to see actually a medic station from him, or perhaps a medic bunker for Mr. the Union right there. And he is holding out behind the wreckage of the half-track. Rangers and Riflemen moving in again with the flamethrower support. Again, Veterancy 2, very nasty that. And we are seeing the Grenadiers being forced back. And what is this? Another half-track. Apparently they've been very industrious, picking up a few half-tracks from some left behind either training units or panzer divisions. Grenadiers getting overrun, simply too much fire. Rangers moving in, could be a problem for the half track. Again, no veterans who fought. Oh dear, direct hit, gunner killed, gunner killed. Pack trying to cover the flank, but that's rather realizing the infantry is too small for it to properly hit. Although, of course, note, anti-tank guns could also be used sort of more like actual guns or cannons, because they also had high explosive shells usually. Again, not all used, but still, they usually had some. Oh dear, grenade on. Oh dear, veterans who won for the Rangers. That's going to increase that, and more Rangers getting called in. Also note, every level of veterancy for the Rangers actually decreases the cooldown. Well, otherwise makes it go faster between each fire. Oh dear, half track went down. 2 bazookas to the side, turn it into a smoldering ruin. Hopefully, Mr. Daunion will begin to salvage it. In the meanwhile, DutchX begins hammering away. Wehrmacht quarters taking heavy fire. Howitzer fire as well. Grenadiers getting pushed back by another Ranger squad. Mines going off left and right. Mines being laid down. Very good usage of mines. He might actually consider perhaps getting a observation post right here to perhaps, aid it. And of course you do see an attempt at the cutoff point right here, but there's not much to stop it because there's still this point connecting everything. The Wehrmacht quarters could be going down. The Rangers here are now doing absolute massive damage. It's carnage. Grenade from the Grenadiers. Rangers not stopped. The Wehrmacht quarters does go down. And the Pioneers are caught by the Rangers now. The Thompson submachine guns blaring away. Oh dear, and these veterans he do for the Rangers already. Bloody hell. The Union and the 326 are not doing well. Rangers now surrounding the Grenadiers right here, forcing those away. Packs held back, again perhaps expecting additional armor, but so far again the tank depot is not seeing a lot of use. Though again, medic station would be a great move with all that infantry and the sort of things going on.
What are my coordinates? Field battery ready for target.
Front shifting. Krauts are grabbing territory from us.
The Union holding up in a small crater before advancing for the fatherland.
Front shifting. Krauts are grabbing territory.
Going for all the cut-off points, going off the vital points in the center, but there we go, Howitzer setting off to stop that. Oh, hitting the mine, one dead. And now we are seeing Howitzer fire right into the headquarters. 15 kill engineers. Not a lot of support for them, that could be dangerous. Could be very dangerous, in fact now the Grenadiers are reacting. And sorry for shifting about so quickly, just trying to keep an eye on things. Rangers here might want to consider pulling back. There are only 4 men against 8 Grenadiers. Also note, Rangers start out with what Grenadiers get at Veterans 2, that is elite armor. So they do tend to be a bit tougher up close, and there we go, charging in. And of course Veterans 2, they also get some bonus in being harder to hit. Tearing through the Grenadiers right there. No grenades as yet, but there we go, right into the Grenadiers, right into the Grenadiers. Grenade, forcing them away. And then they actually end up retreating. Simply too many Grenadiers.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory point.
But I mean, the more veterans the Rangers get, the tougher they actually get to be to hit. And that of course scales or adds on to their elite armor, so they can actually be very difficult to deal with if they get enough veterancy. Though rarely they do get veterancy free, because I mean they do need a lot to get that level. We are seeing grenades being flung against each other right from Grenadiers. Sniper out again for DutchX. And what is this? The Königstiger has arrived. Heavy armor has arrived to support the 326th. That's definitely one way of doing it. The tank with probably the thickest armor in the war, and the probably also the best gun, since there was pretty much no allied tank it could not penetrate with its high velocity 88mm gun. Granted, its engine and gearbox was not quite as good. That was definitely where the main problems were with the King Tiger, but not with the armor.
Losing ground
that department, due to both the sloping and of course the thickness of the armor, it was pretty much invincible from the front. Rangers moving up on the flank, Grenadiers trying to stop that, but they're going to get overwhelmed, tearing through the Grenadiers. And flamethrowers are moving up to support bazookas, hammering the King Tiger. Though they definitely need to hit the flank of it. Also note the bazooka does gain damage bonuses against things like Panthers, Tigers, Panzer IVs. And I do believe it's actually a 50% damage bonus. So I mean they can actually end up doing quite a bit of damage, and if they then also get veterancy free, then we're talking a lot of damage. Artillery trying to hit here, but not quite achieving much. We are seeing a nice push here. King Tiger leading the way, Grenadiers moving up to support. The ground is being shattered, but let's go look at the Union and its troops. Several Grenadier squads, lots of infantry, all over the place. King Tiger dealing with engineers. Very nasty hit that. Several mines down there. And the engineer squad went down. Looks like the Königstiger, the King Tiger, is on a warpath. Rushing straight into a ranger squad though. Could be the King Tiger's trying to go for that howitzer.
The Americans are capturing the sector.
Anti-tank and getting flanked by riflemen. DutchX definitely not having any issues even with the King Tiger on the field. He just works around it. And there we go. Anti-tank and cleared out. And these guys running into a bit of a problem. Rangers, veterancy 2 engineers and a sniper. And there we go, the King Tiger's moving in. It has spotted its target. And it's a howitzer. But at the exact same moment, an off-map combat group arrives. 2 anti-tank guns, a rifleman squad, and a staghound. T-17, that's quite interesting. We rarely see those. Trying to perhaps delay that King Tiger perhaps with a phosphorus round. White phosphorus, in fact. Also, fun fact, it actually did use those in the war, the Americans did. And they were also used for that purpose, as they were essentially in this game, to stun the crew. I mean, some of you might be thinking, oh, that's not right. But the thing is, I mean, if you're in a tank, those things were actually pretty cramped. If suddenly you see white smoke, I mean, of quite hot variety, of course, as white phosphor was, I mean, you are going to be a bit worried your tank might have caught fire. And that was, of course, rather what the white phosphor simulated. Of course, it was just used for smoke purposes in general, but it was certainly used rather offensively by the Americans in the war. T-17 perhaps not the best of the 2 armored cars. It can have its own advantage if you can get enough veterancy for it, as it does gain some health bonus. Of course, you don't have to pay munitions for upgrading it, but its main gun does have some problems. It used to be very nasty. In fact, it used to be like a tiny Ostwind, but then that thankfully got nerfed. But I think they might have been a bit too aggressive with the nerf hammer. You don't see a lot of players using the T-17 though. Rangers getting pushed back from the left. Looks like DutchX has been himself pushed back. Grenadiers moving in right in front of the T-17, firing away. Anti-tank guns getting attacked. Massive assault going in though. King Tiger getting repaired. Anti-tank gun cleared out. Infantry 1 for another engineer squad. Sniper continues to do his dirty work over here. Could be clearing out the Grenadier squad. No, the Grenadiers make it out there. Hastily retreating. And these engineers ran afoul of a high explosive shell from the King Tiger. Anti-tank guns pulling up. Looks like The 1st Infantry Division is trying to go for the assault on that King Tiger. Get it? Oh, T-17 went down. King Tiger, though, gets pushed away. Does not want to risk the 57mm anti-tank guns. Rangers moving up on the eastern flank. The Veterans E2 kind, 18 kills. And the sniper once more shows his face. Well, not so much his face, just his presence. By shooting someone in the face, though. So a face is involved. Rangers moving up, Grenadiers moving in. Still, quite a bit of munitions. Again, I do think some LMGs could help with all that American infantry. Oh, the anti-tank got sorted out. Sniper in trouble again. Grenadiers still themselves in trouble. Veterans E2 Rangers holding out as well as they can. Anti-tank gun got sorted out by a rather vicious application of grenades. Small engagement left and right. King Tiger advances once more, 16 kills. Will these Grenadiers make it out of there alive? And dealing with the anti-tank gun, ensuring no one can pick it up again. And we are seeing artillery getting called in against the Königstiger. Blowing up a shed. No, the shed actually still stands. The little garage that could. Let's just beat this up a wee bit. Advancing. And there we go. Damaged engine on the King Tiger. Grenadiers once more pushing up. Still no heavier firepower for them against the infantry, but again, he's got several Panzer attacks, but he's not really facing a lot of armor at the moment. Again, something to just help deal with the Rangers or snipers or whatever could be a bit of good usage. But again, I mean, my goodness, all these Grenadiers, he's got 7 Grenadiers, but not a single medic bunker. I mean, a medic bunker would also help him, definitely perhaps 2. So he wouldn't have to constantly train them. Grenades against the Rangers. Rangers keep just shooting away at the Grenadiers. Will there be any grenades from the Rangers on the Grenadiers? Flamethrowers. Oh, Veterans E3 flamethrower. That's going to be a 50% damage bonus. That's really going to hurt those Grenadiers if it actually hits them. Daunion's forces are getting pushed back. Oh, Ranger squad. That was in fact a Ranger squad, I think, that went, oh dear, but not the Veterans E2 one. That's just up in the face of the Germans, tearing through them. Grenades left and right, submachine gun fire. A cratered moon landscape has been left in their wake, which can also become quite handy dandy graves for all the dead. All those Rangers and Grenadiers and Riflemen and Engineers. Another off-map combat group providing an anti-tank gun, a 30 caliber, a mortar, and what looks like more riflemen. Again, not unusual to see American commanders, once they get access to the off-map combat group, to largely use that for forces. Anti-tank gun firing the pack once more. Anti-tank gun moving up, has to be a bit careful. Damaged engine once more on the Königstiger. Firestorm getting ready, and rifle moving up. Oh dear, we're not seeing a firestorm against the support positions of DutchX. Daunion unleashing incendiary rockets from Corps Reserve. And oh goodness gracious, clearing out the anti-tank guns, a 30 caliber as well. That just took out a huge chunk of the American force. Mortar fire on the Grenadiers, not quite hitting though. And there we go, the Veterans Fleet flamethrowers moving in. And there we go, I mean, one burst of the flamethrower and the Grenadiers were practically down to half health. Although again, Veterans 1 does put a bit of healing, so it does slightly even itself out. But that was just one very nasty thing. One burst, one Grenadier lit on fire. Now the Engineers just can't seem to quite hit. There we go though, and suddenly 3 Grenadiers all gone in a sea of flames. Mortar keeps firing as well. Well, not quite killing anything. 24 kills for the engineers. Need to get away. Need to get away. Sniper has arrived. But the Rangers are ready to pick up the slack with their own 23 kills.
They're losing territory.
Whoops. Just got something stuck in my throat, I think. Well, I'm just a bit tired. Didn't get enough sleep, I'm afraid. Had trouble falling asleep, so I ended up playing Civilization for a bit. Quite addictive all of a sudden, what with Gods and Kings added. Recommendable if you like Civ 5. Troops getting reinforced. DutchX though still holding on like a champ. Or at least like a good American soldier, but he is slowly getting pushed back, but that's not stopping him. He's still giving Daunion a bloody nose left and right. In fact, it's time to have a look back at him. Sticky bombs now getting ready. A ragtag force, but still rather veteran, rather learned. Right, you need to be careful. Down to one man. Retreat, retreat. Instead, he gets sniped.
They're going after one of our munitions points.
Grenadiers holding out with a 30 caliber at the front.
Crowds have cut forward supply lines.
A small little defensive line. Screening the King Tiger, but Daunion is not going. Oh well, DutchX is not going to be hitting from the front. He's going to be hitting from the flank again. Nice move, shifting the axis of attack. That's how you do it. Usually. King Tiger still in for repairs. A repair bunker might also be an idea besides a medic bunker.
Enemy unit down.
It looks like some poor sod. Oh dear, Grenadiers just got wiped out by an artillery barrage right on the west flank. Rangers moving in, going in for some Grenadiers perhaps. Yes indeed, tearing through them with the Thompson submachine gun. And gaining veterancy free! 50% damage increase, here we come, and of course also an accuracy bonus. Really making these Rangers lethal. Of course, also note this also applies to the bazookas they're wielding, so again, this King Tiger could be in a lot of trouble. Sniper firing away, they might be caught by the American one. Grenade against the Grenadiers, not quite hitting. Grenadiers getting sniped instead. Going for the fuel point. Bazookas not quite penetrating that full armor, of course. The bazooka itself could only penetrate about 16 millimeters of armor. So again, they do need to get to the rear of the King Tiger. I'm not entirely sure in the real war if the bazooka could have penetrated that. Oh dear, Panzerschreck actually gets a Ranger. 30 caliber still holds the front. A lonely watch, but there we go. Oh dear, veterancy free. Sniper getting run away by wishing an off-map combat group. More anti-tank, that's another T-17. Looks like some other poor devil died. Panzerschreck! Panzerschreck! Oh dear, anti-cured by the Americans. Stun King Tiger. Will there be sticky bomb? No, there's no munitions for it. We are seeing Panzerschrecks trying to get that King Tiger. But they can't penetrate the frontal armor, which should actually be possible since the Panzerschreck could about penetrate about 200 millimeters. So they should not have had any problems about that, if I'm not mistaken. Well, largely, I mean, it still could have been, been deflected or something like that, I suppose. Anti-tank is moving up, but PAC's also moving up. But it is in a slightly unfortunate position. They are setting up their flank, and the King Tiger is tearing through them. Riflemen trying to hold, but they're getting absolutely gunned down by Grenadiers. Might want to see another shift in axis. And the T-17 is trying to flank or something like that, but it's getting caught right in front. Oh dear! King Tiger PAC combo sorted that out, leaving another burning T-17 a wreck.
Quit your yapping and get ready to move.
Mortar's still there though. Perhaps that does the difference. Except it doesn't hit.
Observation posts report we are losing a sector.
Second supply upgrade could be nice. Riflemen retreating. Barely. And we are seeing, there we go, the elite assault force. Veterancy free Rangers, veterancy free Engineers tearing through the Grenadiers in seconds. The Grenadiers vanishing like snow before a flamethrower, I suppose. I'm not sure what else to use, sort of metaphors. Still not looking good. Grenadiers running, and the Rangers are just trying to get up to the flank of the... There we go. Flank exposed. Come on. Hit it. Hit it. 50%. Well, heavy percent damage bonus. Just hit it. No, he's going for the anti-tank gun. He missed a golden opportunity to hit the flank of the King Tiger right there. Oh dear, miss. There we go, though. Nice hit on the King Tiger. Oh dear, this one did not penetrate. Mind you, the sort of turret we saw here was not the primary one. That was quickly shifted out because that little bit there actually resulted in a shot trap that might actually deflect shots right into that bit, which was not very thick because they usually don't have shells hitting from that angle. Oh dear, range getting caught, but they might be able to clear out this machine gun. But yes, indeed, 30 caliber crew dead. Ranger saw to that. And the sniper with 20 kills, also veterancy free. I mean, quite a few veterancy free units from the Americans. And we might be seeing another off-map combat group soon.
We are taking fire.
Oh, but he lost his sniper.
Yes, sir.
Engineer squad ready.
And there we go. Oh dear, 2 tank destroyers. Another 30 caliber and a rifleman squad. That could actually be a bit of a problem for the King Tiger. Let's speed up again. Oops. Trying to go for the King Tiger, but he should have waited for the support. He should have let the infantry move in first, I think, and then sort of rushed in the King Tigers. I mean, not the King Tigers, the Wolverines, silly Dane. Engineer squad could be lost this time around. 30 calibers suppressing the Grenadiers. King Tiger with a damaged engine. And we are seeing artillery getting called in on the King Tiger now with a damaged engine. It can't get away. Out of control. King Tiger is down. King Königsjäger sind kaputt. Oh dear.
Enemy unit.
An absolute blow to the 326th. The 1st Infantry Division definitely made a coup right there.
Put us in the fight. New recruits reporting.
It looks like, though, he is gathering for a pretty swift counterattack.
Hostiles in the compound.
Although some of his troops are definitely not ready. Pull them back, pull them back. Going for cut-off points. Going for all available points, in fact. And looks like Daunion is forced to try and hold the line with what little is left. Although an MG42 has been prepared. All of a sudden. Flamethrowers and Rangers heading up the flank, though. Turning Grenadiers and everything else into mush. Grenades on the Engineers, though. Will the Engineers survive? Apparently so once more.
Infantry squad lost.
Oh, he lost some units.
Got enemy unit down. Base is under attack.
Oh dear. Marching in, the Grenadiers heading to the base. And the Engineers went down on the retreat. Let's go have a look at the Union. He's calling in a V1 on the American base. Oh no. Both sides are definitely pretty haggard. There we go, V1. Tank depot's not down, but the supplier is. Still Rangers charging into the mix of everything. Grenade! Oh, they're doing terrible damage. Also note all those veterans bonuses also apply to grenades. So grenades also do 50% more damage if I'm not mistaken. MG getting torn to bits. Those Rangers are absolute demons, causing great pain to the German army.
We are losing ground.
Trying to go for the victory point drain, I think. Daunion feels a bit pressured again by all these veterans of 3 Americans. Grenadiers getting pushed away by a force of riflemen. Grenade from the Grenadiers right on the Rangers. Getting 2. Oh dear. Rifle getting pushed back as well. BAR left behind for the Germans to secure.
Seizing our territory.
30 caliber repurposed for once more for the American army. These riflemen need to get away. Get away. Run home, little doggies. Oh dear, grenade on the MG. Oh dear, rifleman squad went down, and the that was a full rifleman squad. Just lost that in seconds. Tragic. Definitely looks like the 1st Infantry Division is finally running out of steam.
Grenadiers ready and waiting.
Particularly what with the supply had gone, so manpower upkeep will definitely be draining him once more.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
So let's just speed up again.
Let's go, Junge. Ready for action, pioneers.
50 points left.
30 caliber covering the advance. Getting grenaded once more though, but Grenadiers hitting from the flank. Rangers though continue right into it. Rifle getting suppressed. The Rangers don't care, they just fire up and run right past that MG
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
and sort that thing out. And grenades getting exchanged. Happy little presents. 46 infantry kills on those Rangers. 47.
The Americans are capturing St.Lo. Under heavy fire.
So he is quick to replace all of his grenadiers. And a veteran 3 rifleman squad. Oh, down to 2. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, goodness gracious. Though it looks like DutchX has lost. Oh, wait, we're seeing another off-map combat group. Tank, destroyer, armored car, rifleman, and another 30 caliber.
Yes.
Welcome to the squad.
Ready? We're taking fire.
The Americans, though, definitely are looking worse for wear.
Grenadiers are engaged.
Grenadiers assembled.
Grenadier down. Others are moving up. Will this T-17 live any longer than its brethren? No. Clearly not. Another pack hit and then a Panzer will probably finish it off. More or less.
We're losing territory.
Rangers nowhere to be seen at the front. Grenades against the 30 caliber. But we did not kill it. MG crew looks to be no, just reloading, not down. And pinned and dead. Main gun destroyed on the tank destroyer. Still nothing going on here. Finally reinforcing the Rangers though. I definitely think he perhaps should not have gone for that off-map combat group.
Load and prepare.
Objective captured.
Speeding things up a bit. Cool game. Yeah. Rangers once more charging right into it. And once more proceeding to tear through everything. Though getting stopped, taking too much fire again. Veterans 3 heading up for the flank, recrewing the 30 caliber. I think that might be a bit of a waste. Getting suppressed, 30 caliber not achieving much.
The enemy advances.
Oh dear, he might. Oh, he lost the 30 caliber and the Veterans 3. Can't kill Vet 3 Ranger. No, you can't. And this looks to be the end. GG, indeed. And a 49 kill Ranger is definitely very impressive. This was quite the infantry fight. Let's just beat this army again for the last few seconds, and there we go. Game over. A victory for the German forces. The 326th held. Although, of course, it was very close at times. And of course, though, what sort of happened? What rather won the Germans the fight? I mean, it was essentially their ability, just keep on going. And it was essentially the fact that the Americans were slowly getting drained. They hadn't quite fully prepared. I mean, again, second supply upgrade would have been great. And I definitely also think he should have considered a medic station. Otherwise, I think he was a bit too keen on recruiting when he shouldn't have been. And I think there were some slight chances missed here and there. Of course, he was playing pretty damn well. Though I do question why go for the tank depot if they only bothered one Sherman. That was definitely sort of the really big question. Why? He might as well then just gone straight for this one and got a bit more out of it. Or perhaps another rifleman squad. But again, I mean, this combined with, not a second supply upgrade, and perhaps, a lack of a medic station might have been rather what cost DutchX the game. Although, again, he was very close to winning at times. So, there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.